Item number 2, invocation. Yeah, let's take a moment of silence and serious consideration. Thank you very much. Number 3, no public delegations, right? Right?
No, correct.
Okay. All right. Number 4, vote to approve or not approve audit report from Sanders, Bledsoe, and Hewitt via teleconference at 6:15, so that'll be a while. We can go on.
We can go ahead and call them. They're
Yeah.
waiting on
Okay,
us.
that'd be fine. Yeah, let them get home early. Those things seem to come close together.
Hi, this is Nikki O'Brien with Indiahoma School. Good. Are you ready to present? Okay, I'll throw you on speaker.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Alright. Alright guys, well my name is Jesse Frisbee and I work with Bledsoe, Hewitt, and Gullickson, and I'm here to present your guys' fiscal year 23-24 audit report. I'm going to go over the 2 letters that we issue, which kind of detail the actual opinions that we issue on the audit, and then I'll go over any findings we had. I'll touch on the financial statements for the fiscal year, and then I'll wrap up with our management letter at the end. So to start off with our first letter, I'm going to start off on page 5 if y'all want to follow along. Page 5 here, this is your independent auditor's report. This report here just simply states the actual opinions that we issue on the financial statements themselves. In that second paragraph there, you can see we issued a qualified opinion in regards to the regulatory basis of accounting. That's the basis of accounting that you guys follow, basically just a cash basis of accounting. You guys, along with 99% of other schools in the state, follow that style of accounting. And what a qualified opinion means in this respect is that based upon our test work, we found that your financial statements were presented fairly and accurately in all material respects, meaning that we didn't have to make any major adjustments to the financial statements in order for them to be accurate. The second opinion that we issue is right beneath that, in that third paragraph. We issue an adverse opinion in regards to U.S. Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, or GAAP accounting. You guys have probably heard our little spiel before. For our own audit standard purposes, we have to issue an opinion in regards to GAAP accounting. However, as I mentioned earlier, you guys follow the regulatory basis of accounting. It's a completely different basis of accounting. You guys don't follow GAAP accounting. So really what an adverse opinion means in this respect is that you guys simply don't follow that style of accounting, and we're not issuing an opinion on it. And again, you guys are just like 99% of other schools in the state regarding that, but for our own audit standard purposes, we have to issue an opinion on it. So with that being said, I'm going to jump to our next letter, which is going to be on page 8. And page 8 here is your report on internal control and compliance. This report here, if we had any findings in the audit regarding the financial statements or your internal controls, we would list those findings here, in which we did have 2 findings in the audit, which we detail on page 11, which I'm going to jump to page 11. In page 11 here, we kind of detail these findings and list them out here individually. The first one was regarding payroll. As you can see there, when testing payroll processes and procedures, we observed the following issues. We observed that the federal tax liability payments were not always made for the correct amounts, and additionally, were not being paid in a timely manner. We observed that the district was charged penalties by the IRS during the 23-24 fiscal year for failure to make a proper tax liability payment in the amount of $23,210. Additionally, we also observed that one employee was overpaid by $1,000. This appears to be a clerical error when the employee's base salary amount was entered into the software. Additionally, other employees' contracts were unable to be reconciled to what they were actually paid per the software. The difference were deemed to be immaterial. Our recommendation is at the top of the next page, page 12. We recommend that all payroll forms be accurately completed and filed with the appropriate state or federal agency, and that all payroll tax payments be made in a timely manner, as is required by the state and federal regulations. Additionally, for school districts where only one person performs the entire payroll function, we recommend that an earnings report be printed at the end of each year, and that the total amount of compensation paid to every employee then be reconciled to their employment contract for that year. The report should then be shared with the superintendent and kept on file for future inquiries. Our second finding here was regarding the activity fund bank reconciliation. That first point there during our final audit work, we observed that the activity fund bank balance was not properly reconciled to the county records each month. Because of this, an unidentified adjustment was made to the financial statements in order to reconcile, and therefore incorrect OCAS financial information was submitted to the State Department of Education. Our recommendation down there, as you can see, we recommend that procedures be implemented that would require the bank statements to be reconciled monthly, and that an individual that is independent of the process review those reconciliations to ensure accuracy and completeness. So with that being said, I'm going to jump into our financial statements, and I'm going to jump to page 15. Page 15 here is your guys' general fund income statement for fiscal year 24. As you can see over here to the left, we have your revenues and expenditures listed out, and then at the bottom, your beginning and ending of the year fund balances. Actual revenue collected in the general fund for fiscal year 24 was $2,367,098, fairly similar to last year, fiscal year 23, a little bit less, primarily due to the decrease in federal revenue. And total expenditures out of the general fund was $2,573,798, which is a little bit more than fiscal year 23's expenditures, which ultimately left you guys with an ending fund balance down there at the very bottom of $116,793 at June 30, 24. The next page is your guys' special revenue funds income statement, but it combines your special revenue funds. I'm going to jump to page 37, and it breaks them out individually. So, page 37. Again, page 37 here, this is your guys' special revenue funds, your building fund and your child nutrition fund. You can see them broken out here. Income statement for fiscal year 24. Same setup here as the last statement we just spoke about. You can see there for building fund, total revenues collected in fiscal year 24 was $123,418, and total expenditures was $232,882, which ultimately left you guys with an ending building fund balance at June 30, 24 of $71,235. Child nutrition fund, you guys collected a total of $137,709 and expended a total of $148,594, which left you guys with an ending fund balance of $69,515. I'm going to jump a couple pages forward to page 40, which is your guys' activity fund financial statement for the year. page 40. This is your guys' activity fund financial statement for fiscal year 24. As you can see over here to the left, all of your individual activity fund sub-accounts are listed out here, and their respective beginning balances, revenues, any transfers or adjustments that were made during the year, expenditures, and then the end of the year sub-account balances over there to the far right. At the bottom there, you can see an unidentified variance of $24. This is what we were off from the bank by. So yeah, you can see that unidentified variance there. But activity fund as a whole, you guys started out the year with $57,098 and ended the year pretty similarly, a little bit of an increase at $62,026. I'm going to jump to the next page, page 41. And page 41 here is your guys' schedule of expenditures of federal awards for your CFA. And this financial statement here really just lists out every single federal award that you guys were awarded during the fiscal year and their respective revenues and expenditures. You can see in that third column over what you were actually awarded for each program. That next column, the balance at July 1st, 23, is revenue that you guys received in fiscal year 24. That was a reimbursement for expenditures made in fiscal year 23, prior fiscal year. And then actual expenditures and actual revenues in fiscal year 24, and then your balance at the end of the year, which is revenue that you guys didn't receive until this current fiscal year, but the expenditure was made in fiscal year 24. So with that being said, I'm going to jump to our very last section here, our second to last page. And our second to last page here is our management letter. This is just a letter to you guys as a board that lists any minor issues that we had in the audit. We did have our 2 findings that we spoke about earlier, but this section here kind of just lists minor things or things that we just wanted to discuss with you guys as a board about, or just general recommendations we have. Not major findings or anything, just again, kind of minor issues. We did have a couple of things here. This first one regarding purchase orders. While testing purchase orders for appropriated funds in the activity fund, we observed the following issues. Several purchases were made prior to a purchase order being encumbered. Several invoices observed were not signed as received, and several interest and finance charges were noted when observing credit card statements. We recommend that a purchase order be approved and encumbered before any good or service is purchased, and that all invoices be signed or stamped as received, as is required by Oklahoma statutes. Additionally, we recommend that all credit card charges be paid fully and timely to avoid late fees and finance charges. Our next point here regarding the federal programs, we observed during the audit that one federal program, Project 588, there were more funds drawn down during the fiscal year than what was actually claimed and expended. Although there were adequate amount of funds expended to satisfy the grant requirements, the district did not have enough expenditures coded to this project to support the additional amounts being drawn down. We recommend that the district only draw down what they have actually expended and claimed for each project. And then our last point here regarding travel expenses, we observed a few checks for trips where students or employees ate meals or stayed in hotel rooms. We recommend that when this type of travel is taken, a listing of all students, a roster, and employees be included that reconciles to the amount of meals purchased or the number of hotel rooms purchased. For travel-related expenditures, we always stress the importance of each expenditure, each purchase order, and all supporting documentation being able to tell the complete story of the trip, who went, where did they go, who went with them for how long, etc. Just kind of getting a more whole picture of what the travel expenditure was for. So with that being said, guys, again, these are kind of more of the minor issues that we noted in the audit. We had the two findings earlier, the activity fund reconciliation and payroll issues. But again, these are kind of more minor issues, and the payroll and the activity fund were kind of the more pertinent issues. With that being said, I think that's all I have, guys. Do you guys have any questions for me about the audit or the financial statements or any of the findings or anything?
No.
Not at this time.
All right, I appreciate your guys' time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I don't know what they call them, the concerns they had, the findings they had, do we have processes in place to take care of those now?
I've already sent a correction action response. I'll send this around so y'all can see it. So that we can, I sent that to the auditors.
Okay,
And, she's already come up with a form for travel.
okay,
And of course, on the drawdowns on the federal fund, there should just been a claim, and that wasn't done. But I'll make sure that any that I draw down, always, if you've got a claim, then they know exactly how much, you know,
Right.
and what it's for,
okay.
so.
And then the person, I don't remember the wording he said, but the person that is balancing the statements, that
The
there's.
reconciliation
The reconciliation, that
needs-
there's a second person that's not involved with the process.
It's on the letter.
It's on there
Yeah.
too, good,
On the
good
very
deal.
last page.
Good
Good
deal.
question. Yeah, these
So
two people
we'll-
ought to count money, right?
Yeah, always.
So we're working on all of those.
Especially my money. Is there further discussion? Is it?
I just asked a question. Were
Here's-
these things that were slight oversights, were they not in practice prior to
Do what
this
now?
time? These, the little glitches that we have is nothing major. Did you have to create a new precedence of what we're gonna do? I understand that.
Yeah. I just
Because
got-
we didn't have something in before?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then this is the preliminary form that she developed for the travel, if you wanna pass that around.
And who is she?
Miss O'Brien.
Miss Nikki.
Miss O'Brien.
And I know we, discussed the payroll thing at an earlier
Well,
meeting.
and that travel's been done like that for 20 years, so they always have to find some little something to,
Oh,
they
We
always
gotta
have to find
validate
something.
that 6,000.
I mean,
Thank goodness they were.
that's why we pay them.
They wouldn't be doing their job if they didn't come up with something.
That's right.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to approve or disapprove?
I'll make a motion to approve.
This is a report from the audit?
Yeah, second.
Bells,
Yes.
Cavall,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Who is the vice president?
Yes.
No, I guess we all sign it, right?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. He was next in line,
That one has lines on it.
that one has lines, yeah, it does.
Give it back to John.
Okay.
That's the process of
Motion
saying,
carries
huh,
on
they say, yeah, you're
number
vice president.
Number 5, consent
You've been
agenda.
there, haven't you?
All following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature normally approved at a board meeting will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items.
Reference number. Needs a reference number.
Is there discussion? Is there a motion? I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
consent agenda, and Michelle, Mrs. Cook moved to,
I was-
seconded it.
Sorry.
I think we ought to do like a taste testing of Highlands chocolate milk just to make sure it's up to standard.
Bell,
We'll
Ah.
filter it.
Yes.
Catwalla,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Motion carried.
AP report.
Number
Is
6.
that me?
Assistant Principal Report, Calendar Review, and Dropout Report.
Okay, we have lots and lots of stuff going on the next couple of weeks. We start district basketball games at Fort Cobb. Thursday, our girls will play at 7:30 versus Fort Cobb. Friday, our boys will play at Fort Cobb, but they will play Corn Bible Academy. And then Sunday, we have another delicious fundraiser in the auditorium for the Native American Club. They're doing Indian Taco
Yep.
fundraiser, and it will be in the auditorium from 11 to 2. And then,
It'll be the 16th.
I'm gonna give you one of these.
Oh, okay.
The Chatty Fair, all those FFA kids that are showing, starts Monday and Tuesday at Chatty. The following week will be the Comanche County Fair at the Coliseum. And then, of course, our local show will be Saturday, March 1st. The show will begin at 1, but we expect y'all to come down there before for lunch, because we'll have lots of good treats and eats.
Okay.
And here is this. As for the dropout report, I'm still trying to figure out, we have 2 or 3 kids on there that are obviously not dropouts, but we're still working on that. There's only one that I cannot find, and it was one of the boys' homes, and I have Miss Bergenhauer working on that we're not sure if he's enrolled somewhere else yet, so.
She has done a wonderful job.
Miss Bergenhauer has done a fantastic job getting these kids and hunting them down, so she's on the mission to
I
track
wouldn't
them
want her
down.
hunting me. I wouldn't want her finding me.
No.
Thank
So
you.
that's all I have.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you very much. Number 7, Superintendent's Report.
Okay, I'll start with facility repairs. We've had a lot this month. Plumbing repairs, faucet replaced in 2nd grade, several leaking faucets and drain pipes repaired, frost-free hydrant replaced outside elementary, school was repaired in high school restroom. We had 3 school buses washed, replaced inoperable heater in ag shop. They haven't had heat over there in a long time. 3 of 9 doors have been replaced with solid wood doors, entering in the superintendent's office, the old AD office, and the high school restroom. And the balance of the doors will be replaced on February 17th. Upon completion of installation, they'll be sealed. These doors were part of the security project. Repairs to the warmer oven and the steam table in the cafeteria. Old outside basketball goals have been removed and should have new goals up by Tuesday, the 11th. I haven't looked to see. New locks have been placed on all the playground gates. The gates are locked when the school day ends, and they're unlocked each morning at 7 o'clock. And we did this for liability. We have bids for 2 new heaters in the gym. Lowest is $9,900, and that'll replace the heaters on the south side. We have a PO for a new playground fence scheduled, and that was part of the grant too for security. And that's about $25,000. The drive-through gate will be moved to the east side of the playground, making the north fence continuous, and that'll be a lot safer for the highway. And on safety, a lot of that was the safety and security, as I just said. And then, safety infrastructure, that'll be our fence. Communication and correspondence, I did receive a letter from, Mr. Floyd that he is finished and everything is completed. And E-rate, following competitive bidding and evaluation process, a proposal from AT&T was selected as our best option for 25-26. I'm losing my voice, y'all, excuse me. The proposal would increase the district's bandwidth from 400 megabytes to 500, while also reducing our monthly cost from $835 to $760 a month. And the federal E-rate and state universal service fund credits substantially even reduce that, so it wouldn't even be that much. And it sometimes eliminates it. And a 3-year contract is what we'll have, followed by 2 voluntary 1-year renewal options. So that locks us in for 5 years at that rate, which is good. Separately, following a competitive bidding and evaluation process, we got a proposal from Industry Systems, and that was selected for our hardware for 25-26. And the hardware includes our licenses for our wireless access points, firewall, switches, uninterrupted power supply devices, and if approved, E-rate would cover 85% of all of the hardware. And Lisa's reviewing those quotes to let us know which options she recommends. And we have 3 elementary teachers who have stated they'll be leaving. And so we'll discuss later the pre-K program, but I've advertised for 2 elementary slots. And our guest speaker is here, Miss
Yeah.
Mandy. She's gonna
Yeah.
wow us.
Yeah. Do you mind getting over here so we can
She's doing
share what you
PowerPoint.
look like with the public?
Doing PowerPoint.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear what you gotta, well, come on, we gotta face them. I don't mean to put pressure on you, I'm sorry.
I think you mean to watch the TV.
Oh, you need to watch it, oh, then go right ahead, you know what you're doing.
Okay. Okay, y'all might just have to look right here, so sorry. All right, so this is our aviation, I'm presenting about our aviation program, so I did not mean to do that. Okay, so, wow, great, I might actually.
Would it be
have to
better
do
if you
that.
sat here? I'll give up my chair.
It's okay, it's okay.
Will you
it's
drag
okay.
another one?
I'll just do this, and I hope that you guys can see it.
Okay.
So we're preparing students for Oklahoma's aerospace future, and hopefully you guys learned some things from this. Oklahoma's aviation industry is a growing opportunity. The annual economic activity is $44 billion in Oklahoma only. Jobs supported is 206,000. The average salary for somebody in the aviation industry is $73,000. The total payroll is $11.7 billion. Significant local career opportunities for students. Near us are Altus Air Force Base, of course, and we also have Fort Sill. And of course, aviation isn't just like if you think, oh, well, they have to, be in the Air Force, but no, Army and all of them also have people in aviation. And so aviation aerospace is the state's second largest industry with $44 billion in annual economic activity. And it's actually supposed to pass oil and gas within 5 years, is what they say in Oklahoma. Of course, oil and gas is number 1 in Oklahoma, but they say aviation is up and coming. So here are just some facts that came from one of my slides that I taught. The airline pilots, the median pay is $161,000. It starts at $65,000, and they can make more than $200,000. If you're a drone pilot, the median pay is $51,000. And you don't need, a bachelor's degree or any kind of degree for that, even associates. You just need your Part 107. It starts at $38,000, and you can make more than $200,000 if you wanted to. Astronauts, they start at $66,000, and then they can actually get paid up to $144,000. Which you think? You know what? I bet astronauts would make more than any of
Yeah,
them.
you would think so.
No, they do not, which is very surprising.
Maybe off endorsements.
And
Maybe the perks is what they see when they're out there.
Yeah, that would be awesome, right? But I didn't put mechanics on there, and I should have. So AOPA is the foundation that we go through, and we teach You Can Fly curriculum, and so it starts at grade 9. And what grade 9 does is it introduces aviation, aerospace history is what we're teaching, and engineering design. They don't have to take that, but they do have to start in grade 10 that course. But we're doing the grade 9 course probably mainly for me, just so that I can get introduced to it. Grade 10 though, their topics are forces of flight, aircraft systems, and aircraft performance. So you're starting to actually get into what they need to know for the Part 107. And then, you know, both of those are aviation career. It prepares them for that. But then in grades 11 and 12, and so this is like the actual pilot courses. And so they could have their pilot's license by the end of this if they stick all 3 years with it. And in order to teach us, we have to have at least 5 in a class. So grade 11 is pilot course, weather, aerospace, and flight planning. Oh, I guess I should probably say you could either go the drone route or the plane route. I think that we should go the drone route or UAS because, you know, it's easier for us. I don't know where we would go to, you know, fly the actual planes. I know schools in Tulsa actually do. I guess if somebody wants to hook us up with, you know, getting busing kids over there and, you know, that just being 1 hour, I think it would be kind of difficult. But I don't know.
Shame
we
don't
might
have
decide
Indiahoma Airport, the drone airport that we had north of the highway.
Yeah, that would be
OSU.
nice. Oh, I didn't know it was OSU who did that?
Yeah, that's,
oh, wow, I didn't know
that's,
that.
I think Dr. Snell owns that now.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, and then grade 12 is UAS, their UAS course is Advanced Missions, Advanced Drone Tech, and Future of Aerospace. And so it's pretty awesome. You know, we go to conferences and I see guys all the time who teach this and they talk to me about what they're doing. And, you know, some of them are like the mechanics and then some of them actually fly planes. They're high schoolers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But the AOPA Foundation is a high school aviation STEM curriculum. And this pretty much just tells you how it's aligned to the standards. They give us presentations that are embedded with video links, their worksheets, their rubrics, the material lists. We order everything, you know, I ordered everything at the beginning of the year so that I didn't have to do it throughout the year. Extension activities, lessons. We have like, about every month we do a hands-on activity and you'll see some of them. So it's just, they were like, you know, we can't get pilots to just come be teachers, so you guys are pretty much, you know, you just have to learn as you go. And so we got two grants for this program last year that we applied for. And so we got the lottery grant, we got over $14,000 for that. And then we got the ODAA grant, and that was a little over $8,000 for that. So we have 2 Redbird flight simulators in our classroom. At the beginning I was like, oh yay, so, you know, this is great. And they cost over $5,000 each. And, you know, I put it out for the kids, and then I went to Georgia because that's one of the things that I wrote part of the grant so that I could go there and learn a little bit more. And they were like, oh no, don't let your students get on it until you know how to fly it. And I was like, oh gosh, okay, well, how do we learn how to fly these? You know, I'm not a pilot. Unless I'm a pilot, I'm not going to be able to fly this. And they were like, well, you could fly us out for $3,000. And every teacher in there's like, that's ridiculous, no. And so they were like, so I know somebody in Tulsa who's actually going to come. I put in a requisition so that he could come and teach me how to use this. And so hopefully I'll get trained on March 1st if you guys approve that. But it is a hands-on learning experience. It gives you real-world scenarios. It develops critical thinking situations, real-time decision-making, practical application, and knowledge. And then as far as drones go, we spent about $9,500 in drones this year, just you know, so that we can just learn all kinds of different ones. And the bad thing about it though is none of our kids have their Part 107 because you know, you have to study for that test, and it's not like just some easy test you go take. That would be, you know, next year. That's kind of what we would be teaching so that they could go do that. And it's just a list of some of the drones that we got there. And then just some of the jobs that you can get with UAS, like if you have your Part 107. It could be, you know, agriculture, inspections, the military uses them a lot, firefighting, you know, it's just a good stuff. Like, oh, you already have your Part 107 and you could do this and, you know, firefighter or whatever, law enforcement, then that just is already a step up for you. On January 23rd, I took some students to Aero Student Day at the Thunder Stadium, Paycom, in Oklahoma City. And they heard from industry professionals and walked around for a couple hours to different booths, got information from different, you know, industries in Oklahoma. And so they really enjoyed themselves. And then they also got to go shoot on the Corps, and, you know, it was just a lot of fun for them. So they were like, Miss Shalova, this was the best day of my life. So that made me really happy. Aviation class activities, we've made hot air balloons, we've made little, you know, airplanes, gliders out of balsa wood. We made, I don't know, all kinds of different things, parachutes, a little wind tunnel. And then just some of the benefits are industry standard equipment experience, professional certification opportunities, practical skill development, real world application, and career pathway exposure. And so next year my goal would be to actually have some students get their Part 107 and we can actually go outside and fly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
any questions?
So basically, this is our first year for it, and so we're not 100%, but we're gonna be 100% of being able to utilize the program just within the next couple of years.
Yes.
Great, good deal,
Yeah,
good deal,
so
this is
hopefully
exciting.
we get to keep this, but yes.
So exciting, I just love it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the work you put in there.
Yes, absolutely.
My cousin's daughter.
I think we're so
This last
fortunate
week
to
I
have
found out
that
she flies
program,
United, but
you
she
know,
also
school.
flies the C-130 stuff.
Oh
She
my
must be
God, she's
reserved.
reserved, yeah. Number 9, discussion and vote to approve or not approve the IPP Indian Policy and Procedure for 2025, 2027.
There have been no changes, it's exactly as the last one you approved. And I took it before the Indian Parent Committee last week, and they approved it already too.
Well, that's important, yeah.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Indian policy and procedures for 25 through 27.
Second.
Bells,
Yes.
Cutball,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Motion carries. Number 10, discussion possible action regarding pay increase for Clara Edison and Terry Slatton effective July 1, 2025 for school year 2025-2026.
I had a salesman come in the other day and he looked me up and he said, I want to tell you, I've been to schools all over this state and this is the cleanest school I have ever been in. And I thought, it truly is. Those ladies work so
Yeah, they
hard.
do.
And I think the reason that we've been able to maintain with the flu and everything is because they continually fog. And you'll see one of them with their cloths cleaning the doorknobs and the desktops every few minutes to make sure that we get rid of those germs. So, and also there's a vacancy coming up at a school nearby, and we would sure hate to lose them. So I've had a couple of people tell me they thought it was really important that we give them some kind of a raise.
You can tell by the smell just when you come in,
Yes.
it's clean.
And right now, they are at 15.5, and I was hoping maybe we could go 5 and make it 16, or it's open for discussion, whatever you all think.
Is that the hourly?
No, this is 15.9 is what it is yearly, 15,900.
My gosh.
So 15.9, and we're wanting to give them $100 raise?
What?
No,
No,
the
she
salary.
thinks it's
5. I was thinking at least
$500
5.
raise
Oh, okay.
for the year.
It'd be what,
Yeah,
16?
Which,
16.
if we divide it out by 12 months, it ain't much.
No.
Yeah.
I wish we could give them more. I'm
I mean,
impressed
really.
every time I walk in.
I
The
know.
floors,
It's wonderful.
it's probably looked the best I
The
remember.
best ever.
Do we
I
have
wish we could give
consideration
more.
that we have enough to do more or not?
We probably, could do some more, a little bit more. We don't want to get too in, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I
they
say-
are, they're wonderful.
I
Do
cer-
they, are they paid only when they work? I mean, do they get days off that they get paid for that?
Yes.
Ball games and stuff, is it?
No,
Is
no,
it-
I'm talking about like if,
Leave.
like,
Sick leave.
Christmas break. They
Oh,
don't work
yeah.
Christmas Day. Do they get paid through Christmas break? They don't work.
They just don't work, but they get the same amount every month,
It's
no
all right.
matter what.
So
It's
it's
just
a
like the
salary.
street
It's a
people do.
salary.
Okay, so they're salary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Not
salary.
hourly.
So you're saying going up $500, 15.5.
This is
16.4.
16.9 right now.
To 16.4.
And so it'd make it 16.4.
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause that
okay.
was 5.
okay.
I move to approve
I second.
At
it.
least, yeah.
raises up to 16.4.
Yeah.
Right.
Bells,
Yes.
Cutvala,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank them.
Yes, every day. Motion carries. Number 11, discussion possible action on bus lease for 2026 through 2029.
This is our year for the 3-year bus lease to be up. And we got a possible contract from Midwest, that's who we deal with. And they were wanting 14.5 every 6 months, so they've definitely gone up. It's been 9 every 6 months until now. And so I called Bluebirds and one other. And so I quoted the price back to Mr. Rose, because I don't think we wanted to go with Bluebirds, but just in case, we might,
Yeah.
And so when I called him back, he said, okay, we'll go down to 13,750. And so that's a little better. And he said if rates go down a little bit, he still will work with us, but that would be locking us in for the next 3 years, so that we would have a bus.
Now, that's on how many buses?
One, our big one.
The big one.
We own the 2 little ones.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Now, will
it's
they bring us
supposed
a
to be-
new bus?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
will
it's
they bring us
supposed
a
to
new
be
bus?
in 2026.
Will they bring us a new bus? That's the
Yeah,
question.
this will be a
Okay,
new
okay.
one. Brand new.
Yeah, because the wrong
Can
one
you
got
imagine
turned
Yes.
in.
how much one of those costs? Will it have seatbelt?
It'll be a
They're fixing to pass
They're
that.
passing it.
Yeah, I know it.
Possibly.
71 passenger,
Yeah,
26
71.
model,
Okay, that's good.
71 passenger.
and that's currently
That's
what
not
we have.
truly 71 passenger,
If you crowd it.
unless you get a bunch of 4-year-olds.
And they have been good about coming down and, when we call them something's wrong, and, or they let us take it to, what's the place, the
Weber's.
East of Lawton, Weber's,
Oh,
It's gonna be 13 what?
13,750
Thank you.
every 6 months.
every 6 months.
Times 6. We're locked in for 3 years.
Wow. Is there further discussion?
I just,
Can't make them walk.
it's, that's for 3 years in the event, and I don't know why it would be. We don't need the big bus anymore. Can
Oh,
we
they'd
opt out
have
of the
to-
lease?
Yeah,
We can opt out?
yes.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah.
We used to have 2 big buses.
Yeah.
I know. Is there a
Thank
motion?
goodness we don't now.
I make
a motion to approve the bus lease for 26 through 29.
I second the motion.
Bell,
Yes.
Catvalla,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, number 12, discussion, possible action regarding superintendent search for 25-26 effective July 1, 2025. So, we wanna start advertising now? I think so.
If you don't, you'll miss all the good
Yeah,
ones.
all the good cherries will be gone. All the-
I make a motion that we start searching for a superintendent for 25-26.
And the advertisement, just
Yes.
like usual?
Yes, the
It's-
normal.
It's open until it's filled?
Got it.
Yeah. There's no closing date on applications and stuff.
I second.
Bells,
Yes.
Catvalla,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Motion carries. Just to clarify, Mrs. Vogely came back to us voluntarily. It is not a lifetime till you're in the grave job. So, you know, we drafted her to come back, and we're very happy with her, but hey, she's got some other stuff she wants to do. Number 13, discussion possible action on pre-K 3-year-old program.
It's been a really wonderful program with all the procedures they learn and going in, but it just doesn't pay for itself. At one time it did, because at one time they were a little bit more lenient about getting our speech students in to speech therapy. But they have to be very stringent, you know, and follow the rules and the policies. So it just doesn't pay for itself. So it's probably time that we,
And this
Let it-
person will be absorbed, right?
yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
definitely.
That's what I worry about, is
Yeah.
the teacher, not just been hung out to dry. They've done a good job. And
Yeah. We've already got that all worked out.
I figured you did. So, is there more discussion? Is there a motion?
I make the motion, we probably have to disband it.
I'll second it.
Okay, you
Eliminate it.
Yes.
you motioned, right?
Yeah, he
Catvalla,
did.
okay.
John did, yeah.
Bells,
Yes.
Catvalla,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't look for things to go down, so we gotta look for it other ways. Now, number 13 passes. Number 14, proposed executive session for the discussion of evaluation of Superintendent Deanna Vogely, contract terms, and discussion of superintendent employment. Yeah, we're gonna
Let's
have to
go.
do the evaluation, so.
Mr. Bales called Julie at OSSBA, and she said to do some kind of evaluation so that accreditation would be happy.
Yeah.
And so I looked and looked and looked for the Marzono, which we've used in the past, and I couldn't find any of Mr. Wise's stuff, I couldn't find my old stuff. The one from OSSBA is 8 pages long, and so anyway, I found a little short one that's 3 pages, but, so if y'all wanna,
Somebody had that on their laptop.
Yeah, I normally have it on my laptop. It's still at home because I didn't make it home since work, so.
Well,
Can we push it to next month?
so,
do we really need to go
Can
to
we-
executive session?
Can we push it to next month?
Yeah,
Is
we
that
can
an
do that.
option?
And then if you wanna,
There,
can you
send
get
it.
with her and like
Yeah.
kinda give her the.
Get the Reader's Digest form.
Tables.
yeah.
Can do.
Yeah, the condensed form and,
Yeah.
you know, and, let her know and she can, you can
Okay.
pick a few
Well, I
things
think
to
she could
present
just do
next
a
month.
couple,
okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
1 month worth and go on with it.
Yeah,
all right.
okay.
But we'll table this then.
So, yeah. Don't need to.
Okay.
No business.
All right,
We need to vote
so
on
we can
that.
skip 14 and
Just do
15.
it next month.
16.
And 16, since we're not returning, since we didn't go out. And we can skip 17, and then we have new business. And I hear we
Yes.
have new business.
We do have. We got it late, we got it today, to approve the contract with our auditors. So,
You mean they wanna be paid for
they
that?
wanna, they wanna be our
They already
auditors.
did it.
To be next year.
Next
For
year.
next year.
Yeah.
So
That's
if
this
you
for
approve-
this school year.
Approve and not
For next
approve
school.
the,
Or, yeah.
auditors
It'd be
for next
24,
year,
25.
24, 25, yes.
Yeah, which is this year,
Which will
but
be
it
done
will,
in
be- but it'll be,
26.
yeah. That gets confusing. Is there a discussion?
It's a got-to thing.
Yeah, I,
Got to have 'em.
I move to approve the contract with our present auditors for the year 24, 25.
Yes, second.
Bell,
Yes,
Capella,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
motion carries. All right, any other new business? Okay, then we get down to 19, vote to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
No one wants to go.
We have no discussion.
It's too cold to make a motion, it's cold outside. Who wants to go
I'll make
out
the
there?
motion we adjourn.
Okay.
Seems to be me doing it all the time.
Second. Bell,
Yes,
Capella,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
motion carries. How did,